Today, UFC 297 goes down this Saturday night, where in the main event, Alexander Volkanovski will try to defend his featherweight championship against Ilia Topuria. Will Ilia Topuria realize his dream to be the next Conor McGregor? Will Volkanovski show that he's still in the driver's seat of the GOAT talk? And what about Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa? Will Robert Whittaker show everyone that y'all must have forgot who the man is at middleweight? Plus, Ian Gary's fighting, and a lot more. All of this on today's episode of Matter of Fact MMA. What's up? What's happening? Let's go. We right back in it, right back at it. It's your boy Matt. We're going to go over a couple of things with UFC 297. Of course, we're coming out of another Apex weekend. Coming out of another Apex weekend. All we're going to say is in the main event, what do you want? You saw Jack Hermanson go out there and defeat Joe Pyfer. So that's that. Joe Pyfer will be back. He'll be right back in the driver's seat. He didn't look bad in the fight, but all of the experience, veteran, I'm going to make up a new word, the veteranism of Jack the Joker Hermanson. He goes out there, he gets the win. Now, let's not even get into that Apex card. Let's talk about this Saturday night, in which in the main event, Alexander Volkanovski is going to step in the octagon with Ilia Topuria and try to defend his 145-pound belt or championship. So here's the thing, man. With this, there's a lot of factors in this main event. It's a lot of factors. It's very hard to call. I'm going to go with the shocking pick here. In the main event, I'm actually going to go along with Ilia Topuria to get the win. What you want from me? You know what I'm saying? I'm going along with Ilia to get the win. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that Ilia, other than his extreme confidence in himself and him becoming champion, I don't think that Ilia brings anything that Volkanovski hasn't seen yet to the table, or anything that he can't deal with, or he can't game plan for. So, with that being said, where I think Ilia will definitely have the edge, as I said in a previous video from last week, is that confidence and that extreme belief in himself that he's going to be the champion. But also, Volkanovski is getting a little bit older in his career. I think he's around 36, somewhere around that range. And at featherweight, man, things start to go. Things start to go really around 35 or so. But, about 36. And coming off of a horrible knockout from Islam Makhachev in his last fight, it seemed like he had a few mental issues, so to speak, that he kind of spoke about, although he was very emotional after losing that fight. So you could chalk that up to that. He talked about, just kind of hanging out, chilling on his couch, drinking beers every day and everything before he got the Islam fight. So, you could attribute his major loss to that. But here's the thing, man. Eventually, everybody's got to be dethroned. You know what I'm saying? There was a point in time where it didn't look like anybody was going to be able to beat Max Holloway. And then a guy named Volk comes along and beats him 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I think that the main reason why I'm picking Ilia in this fight is Volkanovski has still got it. He doesn't need to retire. He doesn't need to do anything like that. But that constant championship grind and championship training for 5 round after 5 round after 5 round fight, that takes a toll on your body and it takes a toll on your mind. It takes a toll on you mentally. And, he's got children. He's got a whole family. He's already made a ton of money. Lord knows he made a ton of money off of fighting Islam Makhachev the second time. Probably the first time as well, actually. So it's like, you know, in this one, I'm going to go along with Ilia Topuria to get the win, because it could be that we are seeing the slow, I don't want to say demise, because I'm not saying that Volk is a bad fighter or that he's lost a step, but I'm not sure if he still has the step that he needs to defeat Ilia Topuria. So that's my take on that. I got Ilia for the win to become the new 145-pound featherweight champion. And then from there, the sky is the limit for Topuria. I mean, the UFC is talking about going to Spain either later this year or in 2025. Of course, he's the reason for that. He fits right into that. So we'll see how everything goes, but I got Topuria for the win. In the co-main event, we have the Reaper, Robert Whittaker, stepping back in the octagon against Paulo Costa. On this one, I'm going to go along with Robert Whittaker. I know he just took that L to Dricus du Plessis, but prior to that, outside of Israel Adesanya, the man at middleweight was Robert Whittaker. And, maybe it was an off night, maybe it was a bad training camp, maybe he didn't completely take Dricus du Plessis seriously. Because, I mean, a lot of us were picking against Dricus in that fight. So a lot of people, a lot of us probably didn't take Dricus seriously. So I'm going to go along with Robert Whittaker to get the win here. I think he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to go in there and do damage against Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's no joke, but I think Robert Whittaker is definitely the more technical, more skilled fighter, and he can go out there and get the win. Next, we have Jeff Neal stepping in the octagon with Ian Machado Gary, the WAG man himself. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. I'm going to go along with Ian Machado Gary to get the win here. I picked against him in his last fight because I think he just had a whirlwind, a swirl of craziness going into his fight week. Everybody was gunning for him. Everyone had something to say about him or his WAG. And, you know what I'm saying? Now, Ian Machado Gary is not he's not at the top of anybody's best friends list. So, we'll just say that. But a lot of all of the animosity and the turmoil surrounding him and his training camp and everything seems to have died down. It really seems to have died down. And I think if he's focused, then he could definitely go out there and get the win over Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal proved a lot to a lot of us when he stepped in the octagon with Shavkat and showed he's definitely got that dog in him. But I'm going to go along. I believe that Ian Machado Gary is the more technical, skilled fighter in this, even though Jeff Neal is now basically a veteran. But I'm going to go along with Ian Machado Gary to get the win here. I think he's going to be able to go out there and implement a good game plan and go ahead and get Jeff Neal out of there. I don't think he's going to knock out Jeff Neal or stop him, but I believe he can definitely cruise to a 3-round decision over Jeff Neal. Next, we have Merab Dvalishvili stepping in there with Henry Cejudo. This is a tough one to call, man, but I'm going to go along with Merab. I think Henry Cejudo is an outstanding competitor. I think, of course, he's a tremendous wrestler, fairly good striker. He has a really sharp technical mind for the sport, for game planning, all of that. But the main thing, in my opinion, over the years of watching Henry Cejudo's career, Henry Cejudo is a competitor. That man wants to win at all costs. He's a true competitor, a true Olympian. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, there is no give in the mentality, in the mental of Merab. Merab's mind is fortified. Merab is a competitor as well. We've seen Merab get locked in submissions and just keep swimming his feet, keep fishing his legs, trying to get out, trying to keep his body, to wield his body from, basically passing out in a choke. You know what I'm saying? There is not a lot of give in Merab at all. And thus far, no one has, he's got a loss there, but at the same time, I don't feel like anyone has truly figured out Merab or really, got him off of his game seriously outside of his loss. So I'm going to go along with Merab to go out there and get the win over Henry Cejudo. And then at that point, if Sean O'Malley doesn't find another contender, maybe Ilia Topuria. Maybe he moves up to 145. Just I said that in my last video. Look at my finger. Bro, be on the lookout for that. Nevertheless, if Merab goes out there and beats Henry Cejudo, it's between Merab and it's between Corey Sandhagen on who's going to get the next shot at the Bantamweight Championship. So that's that. I got Merab for the win. Next, we have Anthony Fluffy Hernandez stepping in there against Roman Kopylov. I got Kopylov in this. Anthony Hernandez is an outstanding fighter. He went out there and submitted Rodolfo Vieira. He's an outstanding fighter. He's a tremendous competitor. But Kopylov is that new kid on the block, you know what I'm saying? It's like being back in high school, you know what I'm saying, and the new girl just came to the school and everybody's looking like, who's she? Who's she? And everybody's trying to know about her, if you know what I'm saying. Well, Kopylov is that new dude on the block, you know what I'm saying, that we all trying to figure out what's going on with this guy. What's his ceiling? Is he going to be a contender? Where's he going? And right now, he's going straight to the top. So I got Kopylov to go out there and to get the win. Next, we have Amanda Lemos stepping back into the octagon against Mackenzie Dern. And this one, man, I'm not really sure where Mackenzie Dern is. She did not look good whatsoever in her last fight. Now, generally, she looks good, but she did not look good in her last fight. So, man, for this one, I'm going to go along with Amanda Lemos to get the win. If this was Mackenzie Dern from a few fights ago, who really looked like she was really getting a lot better at striking, and of course still had her unbelievable submission ability, that's different. But who knows? Who knows what's going on with her? Who knows if she's got her original coach back, which is what I was calling for, is what she needed. I'm not really sure. I should have did my homework, so I apologize. I'm not sure what camp she's fighting out of now or who her coach is. I believe she was working a little while with Henry Cejudo, which is a bonus. Henry Cejudo, in my opinion, is one of the sharpest coaches in the game. So that's that. But in this, I just got to go along with Amanda because I'm not really sure if Mackenzie has bounced back yet. And Amanda just recently challenged for the title, against Zhang Weili. So, I'm going to go along with Amanda Lemos to get the win. Next, we have Marcos Rogerio de Lima stepping in the octagon with Justin Tafa. On this one, man, I like the Tafa brothers. I'm going along with Justin Tafa to go out there and get the win. Probably by knockout. It's probably going to be a slop fest. It's going to be back and forth maybe for a moment, but I'm going along with Tafa. I like the Tafa brothers. I got Justin Tafa to get the win. Let's see. I'm just going down here. I wasn't going to cover all of the fights, just checking to see anything else. Oh, it looks like Andrea Lee is stepping in the octagon with Miranda Maverick. On that one, I'm going to go along with Miranda Maverick. I know Andrea Lee is the KG veteran, but I'm going to go along with Miranda Maverick to go out there and get the win. Couple other fights on here, but nothing to really ride home about. So I think that's kind of where we'll leave it at. Nakamura versus Carlos Vera. That should be an outstanding fight. I'd probably lean toward Nakamura on that one, but outside of that, man, that is going to be the card. That is UFC. You know what? I've been calling this UFC 297. It's UFC 298. I apologize. I really do. I don't know why I kept thinking 297. This is UFC 298. Nevertheless, man, it goes down this Saturday night. Those are my picks. That's what your boy Matt is leaning toward. Should be an action-packed, outstanding card. Way better than these two dumpster fires of Apex cards we've had thus far in 2024. So we'll see how it goes down. My pick in the main event is Ilia Topuria. So let's see if that man can go out there and realize his destiny and become champion of the world. Nevertheless, please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you got in the main event. Let me know some of your picks. But I do want to thank you again. I appreciate everything as far as you guys checking out all these videos and everything. And I do want to thank you for joining me on another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. And I'll check you next time. Peace.